Hey everybody, how you going? It's Lucretia here. For those of you who haven't seen me on video before, I am a author, a psychic channel and a transformational teacher, and I help women to connect into their intuition, learn how to manage their psychic gifts so that they can then step into their divine calling and actually do what it is that their soul is here to do in this lifetime, which is to serve at a much higher level and create change and really help humanity in a bigger way. Now, today's video is something that a friend of mine in particular have talked about many times over the years, and one day she and I are going to write a book about it. And it's just come up. I was just talking to another girlfriend about it in the last 10 minutes, and I'm just like, you know what? I think I really need to do a video about this. And I am so clear about this and passionate about this that I even wrote down some notes because I don't want to miss anything. So the topic is how being psychic can screw up your relationships, or basically how it can really create completely fucked relationships with men. And I have had quite a lot of experience in this. And I know quite a few other light workers out there as well where this has tripped them up. If you want to know a bit more about how I've stuffed things up, and really, look, my stories in hindsight are quite hilarious. Hello, whoever you are. My stories in hindsight are quite hilarious. I actually wrote a book which is called The Men I've Almost Dated. You can get it on Amazon or good online bookstores. And that outlines how well I have created really stuffed up relationships, hello V, with men. And this was all before I was aware of my special psychic toolkit. And in hindsight, when I look back now that I am aware of what was really going on, I can think, oh my God, I was just screwing myself over, creating these really effed relationships with men. And one of the reasons is because I had this extra psychic skill set and I didn't realize how that was impacting on my behavior and how I interacted with men. So let's just talk about this. I'm getting straight to it. First of all, when you are psychic, energetically sensitive, empathic, you can be led astray in relationship if you are not fully grounded in yourself and if you're not fully aware of exactly what's going on. Now, I actually wrote a few notes here, so I didn't want to miss anything out. Now, here's a couple of things. When you are energetically sensitive, hey Tara, when you are energetically sensitive, psychic, empathic, however you describe yourself, right? There's no one way, it's whatever feels right for you. The thing is, when you are in relationship with a man, and you know what, I'm speaking from a heterosexual point of view. If you're gay, it'll be the same thing, right? When you're in that kind of intense kind of possible love connection with another human being and you have this extra psychic skill set, what that inevitably means, if you're not careful, is that you are feeling into the soul, hey babe, you are feeling into the possibilities and the potential of the soul of that person. Because you have this extra layer, right? You're not just looking at the actions of the person, because you are such a big feeler and you have this extra level of insight, you are going past that and seeing the potential and the possibility of that person's soul. And you know, there's another layer here, because if you've had connections with them in a previous lifetime, you might even have that making matters more confusing, because you might be feeling the remnants of that previous connection with them, and that's even more confusing, right? Then this is helping you, but really stay with me, because I've got 3 steps at the end of this video that are going to help you to be more discerning. All right, so bear with me. So the first thing is you are sensing the potential of the soul of the person you are in that connection with, the potential and the possibility of their soul, because you can feel it, because this is part of who you are. This is what makes you incredibly magical and beautiful and incredible. But this is where you also need to be really aware of those gifts and what they can do. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that because you have this extra skill set, you are going to often feel what they're feeling, right? You're going to be feeling into what they are feeling. And if you do not have a rock solid sense of self and connection to your core, if you're not fully grounded, and when you are in an intense emotional connection with someone, you can become a bit more ungrounded, right? Because it's the energy flowing backwards and forwards between you, and you are hypersensitive to that, okay? But if you begin to feel what they feel, and so not only are you a woman, and let's face it, women are really pretty sensitive anyway, but if you've got this extra skill set, my God, like you're not only just thinking about how they're feeling, you are potentially feeling how they're feeling. And slowly but surely the focus shifts from being about how you feel about the connection with this man or this woman. It shifts from the focus on you, which is actually where it needs to be, and it shifts to be the focus on them because you're feeling where they're at. And if you found yourself in connection with somebody who's a little bit not fully evolved to the level that you're at, who is facing their own kinds of challenges, who is insecure, etc., you're going to start to really feel into that. And then what happens is potentially you start to make, I'm going to just have to say it, excuses for behavior that you wouldn't tolerate in someone else. Is it V, the story of your life? Honey, you read my book, seriously. I've had an epic tale of failure in this department, and that is why I feel I'm fully qualified to talk about it. Seriously, read the book, babe. It's mortifying. But it's a learning opportunity for all of you, so you don't have to be like me. So you're feeling into what they're feeling, and you're becoming disconnected from you. You start to make excuses. This is not helpful for the relationship, right? Because every single one of you, beautiful, incredible, magical women watching this, you deserve a fully evolved partner. Not someone who has potential. You deserve the fully evolved version that you deserve it right now, yeah? Oh yeah, definitely get the book, babe. And look, we've all made the excuses. If you are a light worker, if you have this kind of skill set, it's really, really common, particularly if you don't understand what's going on, right? Because we don't. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is that we're helpers, right? If you have this extra skill set, this psychic sensitivity, one of the things that you're going to be drawn to do is to serve. And when I say serve, I don't mean be a servant. I'm talking about serving as in trying to help people and to make the world a better place, right? It's often part of your makeup. And so not only are you seeing the potential of the person, which actually may not, and you're sensing that, right? Which actually may not be the reality. You're also feeling what they're feeling. And so then you're really concerned about what's going on for them rather than focusing on what's going on for you. And finally, you want to be helping people to get where they want to go. And so if this man or this woman isn't where they want to be, you're like, oh, I can support them and get them and help them to be where they want to be. No. Seriously, red flag. Several red flags right there. Because like I said, you deserve someone who is fully evolved. You need someone who can meet you where you are at. And then yes, you can grow together. No one is perfect. We all have our frailties. Abso-fucking-lutely. But you need a partner. Not someone you have to lift to meet you. Yeah, they can go away and do the work and then come back and meet you. That's great. That's a solid man, right? Or a solid female partner. But this whole helping them up, that's another sign. Okay, so there's 3 things. Now, how can you avoid this situation? Or how can you look at your current relationship and start to go, okay, what is actually really going on here for me? If you look at the history of your relationships with, oh my God, I look at the history of my relationships and I can see where I have done these 3 things repeatedly. So now I do 3 other things, okay? Which actually means I've started to have healthier and more successful relationships with men. And I can see that I've made a shift there. So the first thing is that you need to do, step number 1, I wrote these down because I didn't want to forget, okay? I need you to be real about what they are showing you. Be real about it. Look at how they behave and their actions, what they actually do, not what the possibility is, not what the potential of the person is, because we all have potential and that's fantastic. But I strongly recommend that you look at their actions. How are they showing up for themselves firstly? Do they do the self-care? Are they invested in making sure that they are, evolving and creating the life that they desire? Or are they looking constantly outside of themselves for validation, support, and you're getting sucked into that? Are they treating you in the way that you would like to be treated? Are they treating you with respect? Okay, so look at the actions, not the possibility of the soul. Please try and disconnect from that. I know it's really difficult sometimes, but that's the first step, okay? Look at what you're being shown. The second thing is you really need to focus on what you are feeling about the situation. What are you feeling? Disconnect from what is going on with them, whatever situation they're in, their drama, they've got no money, they've got issues with their family, all that kind of stuff. You can be there for someone without actually having to feel their stuff. And when you start to feel their stuff all the time, you start to really lose sight of what is actually going on for you. So spend some time actually sitting with yourself and thinking, do journaling. I've got a girlfriend of mine who's actually doing a lot of journaling right now to get clear on that stuff. And this is a really awesome technique. So do that, whatever you need to do to come back into you and go, okay, what's really going on for me right now? How do I really feel about this person? How does being around them make me feel? Yeah? So that's the second thing. And the third thing is, and this is so important, and I have ignored this in the past, right? Is trust your intuition when it tells you that this is not where you need to be, or it tells you that this person does not have the capacity to meet you. I cannot tell you, when I look back, the number of times when I knew in my soul that this man could not meet me. I knew it in a heartbeat. We'd go out for a few times, and often it was just that he'd walk past me in the hallway. I remember one particular instance, this guy came over to see me. We'd seen each other a couple of times. He walked past me in the hallway, and when I looked at him, it was like looking at a stranger. And that was because he had completely disconnected emotionally from me. And I knew at that moment it was done. But I didn't accept it, even though my intuition told me very clearly. There have been other times when I've been involved with a man, and he's been in my kitchen talking to me, and I just had this jolt, and I've seen him, and it's like, oh, he can't do this. He can't meet me. And I've known it, but have I accepted that? No, I just kept hanging in there because my heart so wanted it to work out. But my intuition had already told me very clearly that the man could not meet me where I was at. And you need to be met, girls. You honestly do. And you frickin' deserve it. You deserve a man who can meet you. So that's my 3 tips, yeah, on how to get real about what's really going on. And it's a strategy to help manage your psychic sensitivity, because your psychic sensitivity is a beautiful gift, but in these kinds of situations, it can, if it's unmanaged and you don't understand what's happening, it can really ultimately cause you a lot of pain. It can lead to pain, not cause it, but it can lead to it. All right, so I hope this was helpful. I really, really hope it was. If you want to read some really crazy stories about how not having this awareness leads to ridiculous relationships with men, you should absolutely buy my book. Like, honestly, be a great summer read for you. Or a winter read if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, right? Because it was from a period where I didn't have the awareness that I was energetically sensitive. And so I just kept making mistake after mistake after mistake. It was just, honestly, the stories, if they're happening to someone else, they're freaking hilarious. The fact that they happened to me were kind of mortifying in hindsight. And because I am incredibly honest, even on these videos, I'm just the same in my book. So get prepared to be feeling like you're about to watch a train wreck, but you can't look away. Because that is definitely what some of those experiences were like. All right, I hope this was helpful, girls. If it was, please like and share it with your friends. And if you want more videos like this, head on over and join my Facebook group. It's called Rock Your Inner Channel, where I talk about all things psychic, intuitive, and I answer questions. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you are learning how to trust yourselves more and more each day. And I can't wait to see what you do next. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.